Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today, I want to talk about dreams and how they manifest psychic phenomena and psychic experiences. Dreams can be a portal for many, many things when it comes to metaphysics or psychic experiences. You can get dreams can give you symbols that have meaning that are meant to be a message from the universe. You can dreams can be a venue for astral travel. They can be prophetic. You can have prophecies in dreams or prophetic dreams. Um, I actually did a quick search, a quick query on Chat GPT about the impact of dreams in psychic experience, and it was interesting what it had to say. And I'll give you a very brief summary. So, um, Chat GPT said. Dreams are often seen as a gateway to mystical, spiritual, and psychic experiences. Um, they can be messages from the subconscious come through dreams. You can get messages from spirit guides through dreams, or from your ancestors, or even from the divine. And dreams can serve as premonitions. They can offer insights through symbolism, or be a space for astral travel and lucid experiences. So basically, everything I just said, ChatGPT is saying it as well. And sometimes people receive psychic downloads or a heightened intuition during dreams, or they might experience visitations from loved ones. So, and it summarizes or finishes up as overall, dreams are considered a powerful tool for spiritual growth, self discovery, and accessing higher realms of consciousness. So, that's really kind of fascinating. That's been my experience throughout my life. I get a lot of stuff through my dreams. And today I want to talk about um, prophetic dreams. And that's those types of dreams that I've had. And I'll give you three very quick anecdotes of how I've had a prophetic or prophecy come to me through my dreams. And the first one that I remember was when I was much younger, preteen. I remember dreaming that I was standing on one side of a um, chain link fence, and I was looking out over a field. And now now that I sit back and think about it, clearly I was standing on the looking at a runway, an airport runway on the other side of a fence, at the edge, the perimeter of the airport, I guess. But in my dream, it was just I was, standing at this other side of this chain link fence and coming in. I could see it coming in from my left. This aircraft, like a passenger airliner, a big one, and it was looked like it was making a descent, and but it was coming in really, really fast. And I remember noticing on the tail wing of this aircraft that I was dreaming about, there was a symbol of a crown, like like a king or queen's crown, and I saw that very clearly. And then the next thing I know, the plane made impact on the ground, and just as it was making impact, I could hear what sounded like a thousand screams, like a thousand people screaming all at once, like this crowd of people just letting out this hysterical, terrified scream all at the same time. And then the plane blew up. In my dream, it was just a fireball. And I woke up and I was very startled by this. Like it was so vivid. I could see it so clearly. It was like I was standing there in real life. And I kind of followed it away. And a short time afterwards, I don't remember exactly how long, it wasn't much longer. I was watching the news, and there was an air disaster, major air disaster involving happening on the news. And it involved two airlines, and the one airline that was involved was KLM, which is a Dutch airline. And if you know KLM, you'll know that their logo is a crown, like a crown, like what I saw on the tail wing of this plane in my dream. And I remember sitting there as a kid and looking at this and going, "Wow, I dreamt about that. Like that was I saw that coming. That's my dream. That's the airline, the aircraft I saw in my dream." So I'm confident. Like I'm certain that I had a prophecy that day in that dream, and um and I've had many others, and I will relate those in other videos. But the other memory prophetic dream I had, excuse me, in very recent times was involving the war in Ukraine and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So what I dreamt was actually, to preface this a little bit, I had a conversation with a friend of mine prior to um, Russia's invasion, and the world was nobody was thinking that Russia was going to invade in those days. I mean, this is 2022 February, and Putin's putting troops along the border, but everyone's dismissing the idea that he was going to go in. Like it didn't make any sense for him to do this. He had really nothing to gain, and so I think the whole world was in denial about this, and I was too. I didn't think he was going in. I had this conversation with a friend, and we were talking about it, and I thought, there's just no way he's going in. I mean, it makes no sense to me. So fast forward a little bit after this conversation I had with my friend, and I'm dreaming, and I dreamt. It was like I dreamt of very clearly. It was like a stock market symbol or a ticker, but it was more like a ticker and a logo. Excuse me. But I knew in my dream, I knew that it was stock market related. Okay, I was looking at a stock symbol of some sort, and in the word, it was one word. It was one company, and there was like an R, and I could see the letters R, an A, and a Y, and a TH, and like an ON, and um, I didn't know what it was. I didn't. I could make the letters out pretty clearly, and it was like I remember in my dream it was in red letters, which could be symbolic of other things too. Red can be an alarm, a warning color. Anyway, so I woke up the next morning and I knew that it was so lucid and it was so clear that I had dreamt something prophetic or there was some importance to what I had dreamt. So I immediately went to Google and typed in those letters, the letters that I remembered from my dream. And what popped up was a company by the name of Raytheon. And Raytheon, I didn't wasn't aware of this company. I had no idea who they were, or I had, I had no idea. And as it turns out, Raytheon is a major manufacturer of weaponry for defense for the U.S. military, and they make like anti-aircraft missiles and other really advanced weaponry. And that startled me when I read that. It startled me because it hit me. Oh, okay, there's a war coming. This is a prophecy of war. And I knew at that moment that Russia was going to go in, that Putin was going to go in, and the whole world thought he wasn't going to. But I knew from that, after that dream, I was certain that that was the universe telling me that, yeah, a war is coming. And sure enough, a week later or so, or however long, he invaded. And I remember telling my friend, prior to going in and him invading, I remember saying to my friends, we've been so certain that he's not going in, but I related this dream I had, and I said to my friend, I think he's going in, and I think that my dream is telling me that he will, and he did. So that was something very current and very very interesting. But the biggest one I want to talk about was very very recent, which I thought was really profound. Was I dreamt of President Biden's downfall. And actually, this dream was so clear and so lucid that um, when I got up in the morning, I drafted an email to myself so that it was time stamped because I knew that something was coming down the pipe. And sure enough, so what I dreamt was I was standing in like a conference room, and in front of me was a podium, and off in the back of the room was President Biden and his entourage. And Biden proceeded to make his way towards the podium like he was giving a speech. And on his way, he fell. I don't know if he lost his balance or he stumbled or for what reason he fell, but he just fell like splat right on the ground. And and in my dream, I'm looking at him on the ground, and he's stretched out, and he's struggling to get up, but he can't. And what was really noticeable in this dream for me was nobody helped him. Nobody in that of his entourage made a move to help pick him up off the ground, to assist him, to see if he was okay. Nothing. Sound of crickets. He just laid there. And I was so surprised. In my dream, I just could not believe nobody would go to help him. So I went over and I crouched down and I helped him up. I grabbed a hold of him and I helped him up. And I said to him, "Mr. President, you're such a kind man." And he looked at me and he said, "If I'm so kind, why are they putting me through all this? Why?" And that was it. I woke up. And then a week later, I think it was the 24th of June, I had this dream on the 17th. And it was like a week later, um, was the first presidential debate with President Biden and Trump, Donald Trump. And if, I mean, the whole world knows now that that debate was disastrous for President Biden. I mean, he completely choked in that debate. It was his downfall. I mean, in his dream, in my dream, he was really rattled from his fall, and in the debate, he was really rattled. And excuse me, and he was just like Bambi in the headlights through this whole debate. He couldn't find his words, couldn't form a thought. He allowed Trump to get to him. He came across as like he wasn't in full, um, he didn't have full grasp on all of his faculties. It was a disaster for him, and that was his downfall. He was pressured, forced out of the race essentially. The Democratic Party wanted him gone after that. They didn't think he could win the election. Couldn't beat Trump, and they put Kamala Harris on the ticket, and that debate was his downfall. And I really believe that I prophesied that. I dreamt that. In my dream, he fell. Nobody came to help him, and the Democratic in real life after that debate, the Democratic Party abandoned him. Nobody came to defend him or to support him, or they just basically turned their back on him after that debate. They knew he couldn't win up against Trump, and they fled. They just left him alone to 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 deal with it. Like nobody supported him in the Democratic Party after that debate. So I really believe that the symbolism in my dream was prophetic. He fell on his way to a podium, and he was rattled and traumatized, and nobody from his entourage assisted him at all. So, for me, that was the universe telling me that Biden was on his way out, that he was going to take a fall, and no one would help him. And that's exactly how it turned out. So, dreams play an important part in my life for receiving messages and for otherworldly experiences, like I said, through astral traveling and symbols and visitations. I've had so many visitations in my dreams from people I've loved who have passed, animals and pets that I've loved that have passed, and I'll talk about those in future videos. But dreams are significant, and I like to record my dreams when I have them, and I know they have a resonance. When my dreams are prophetic or spiritually motivated or enhanced, or I don't know how else to put that, when they're more than just a dream, they have a resonance. They have a clarity and a resonance. I call it the resonance of truth. It's almost like a fragrance, without being a fragrance. There's an energy surrounding the dream and a lucidity to the dream that tells me that this is more than just my subconscious in a dream state. This is a message, or it's a it's something much more than just a dream. So with that, I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please hit the like button and feel free to subscribe. It's free, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks again, and have a blessed day.